I truly believe every person on the planet has knowledge, wisdom, experience, or skill set that could save someone time, money, stress, anxiety, shame, guilt, humiliation, embarrassment, fear, and frequent trips to the liquor store. And you can package that knowledge up into a 20 or 40 page PDF and start selling it on the internet. It's exactly what I did last July. On July 1st, I released a $17 PDF, ended up earning $14,305 in the month of July. I had just over 800 followers on social media, and I didn't spend a penny on advertising. There's no reason you can't do the same thing. I'm not promising you $14,000, not at all, but I want to show you. I broke it down to a 5-step process. In fact, I linked the Google document down below. There's no email, there's no opt-in. It's completely free. Just click the link and save it, take the 5 steps, run with it, turn the knowledge into your head into more of that green stuff in your piggy bank. Let me dive in and walk you through this 5-step process. Here's how I generated $14,305 in 31 days selling a simple little PDF. It was just a $17 PDF. I'm going to break it down. As you can see, $13,305, $22.70 was the average transaction size. It was a $17 PDF, but I did have one upsell, hence why it was $22.70 for the average. So this was over on the Instagram Threads app. I jumped on the Threads app May 30th, and I took a different approach. I had a serve first mentality. So for the entire month of June, I just answered people's questions, hundreds and hundreds of questions. I've been in the digital marketing space for quite a long time, and I was just there to help. I wasn't pitching anything. I wasn't trying to sell anything. And I stuck out like a vegan at a steakhouse because everybody else in the industry was just pitching all the time. They were constantly selling. Somebody would ask a question. There'd be 20 replies, and 20 of them were pitches. They would link their product, check out my bio, whatever, and then I would jump in and I would answer the question. I wouldn't say DM me for more. I wouldn't share a link. I wouldn't say check out my profile. I didn't pitch anything. And it really stood out, and people really, really enjoyed it. So I took that whole approach June. And about the 3rd week of June, people started asking how I was growing so fast. And I was like, I don't know, I'm just answering questions. And they're like, could you teach us? Do you have a coaching program? Do you have a course? Do you have a PDF? Do you have a guide, an ebook? And so then I was like, well, I don't know, maybe I'll create one. So I made this post, as you can see, June 29th, which was a Saturday. I had 804 followers, so I didn't have a big following at all. 800 followers isn't much. And over on Threads, it's a lot easier to grow a following. And then I just said, I reveal anything in a short, actionable guide. By the way, I had not written a single letter of this guide. I hadn't wrote anything, I should say. I teased it a little bit. Pre-sale on this guide starts on Monday, which was July 1st. Again, I haven't wrote anything for this guide. I was just throwing this idea out there, and I got a lot better response than I thought. I was like, okay, maybe I'll move forward with this. And so then I ended up launching it July 1st. I hadn't even written it yet. I put up a checkout page. People started buying. I priced it at $10. I told them this will not be available till Saturday. I had probably 100 customers in the first week, and not a single person complained because I was very upfront. Said, hey, there's nothing done yet. That's why you're getting a killer deal for $10. But on Saturday, when I release it to you, it's going to be $17. So there's a lot of people that jumped on it at $10. I was overwhelmed with it, with the response. I was grateful for it. And so what I did is I ended up releasing it on that Thursday, a couple of days early, which was July 4th, because I was just so grateful and thankful that all these people trusted me to buy a product that wasn't even created yet. So again, I didn't even have this thing created. I sold it before I created it. So here's the 5-step process. Literally anyone can apply. I'm not promising you or guaranteeing you any results, but you honestly can. I truly believe every person on the planet, 18 and over, let's say, has knowledge, wisdom, experience, or skill set that could save someone time, money, stress, anxiety, shame, guilt, embarrassment, fear, and frequent trips to the liquor store. And you can package that up into a 20 or 40 page PDF and sell that thing. That's exactly what I did here. And I've launched quite a few PDFs since then. So let's get right into it. By the way, this document, if you want access, it's linked down below. There's no email. There's no opt-in. It's just a link to a Google Doc. You'll get this document right here. Again, I'm not asking for anything. Click the link below. Take these 5 steps and run with it and start making money selling PDFs. So let me go through and explain each of these steps. So number 1 is solve a specific problem for a specific person. I also want to say, find a problem that you enjoy solving for a group of people you enjoy solving it for. Not because it's popular, not because it's trending, not because you can make all this money with it. That's what a lot of people do. They'll get into like the make money online space and try to teach other people how to make money online, and they've never done it before themselves. And they struggle and they battle crippling imposter syndrome because they are imposters, because they have never done it before. So I'm really big on finding an interest. Here's a couple of questions to kind of ask yourself. Really helps with if you sit down and journal these questions out with pen and paper. It's helped me. What problem have you solved for yourself? What's an obstacle you've overcome? What's a challenge that you've conquered yourself? Do you have a skill that you can teach others? And you don't have to be the best of the best. I learned this from Sean D'Souza years ago about imposter syndrome. He says, just act as a third grader teaching a second grader, meaning you just have to be one step ahead of the person you're teaching. You don't have to be the best of the best. Chances are there's going to be people better than you. And that's totally okay. You're not selling to those people. You're selling to the people that are, a step behind you, maybe 5 steps behind you, maybe 17 steps behind you. That's who you're selling to. What do family and friends ask you for help with? Next one is, what could you talk about without getting bored? What's a topic that you enjoy talking about? Whether you earn money from it or not, you're going to talk about it. Look at what type of people you're following on social media. What type of YouTube videos do you watch? What type of podcasts do you listen to? If you read any books, what do you do in your spare time? What do you talk about with friends and family? Those are all signals that you can kind of see and go, wow, I do talk about XYZ topic a lot. Maybe I could create something around that, because obviously you're interested in it. And if the people you're following on social media, maybe there's a common theme. Yeah, these people all talk about ABC. I do like that topic. I wonder if there's a way I could monetize it and teach what I know. So that's step number 1. Solve a specific problem for a specific person. Another good analogy I came up with a couple of months ago is we call these digital products: PDF guide, ebooks, course, audio, video tutorials, whatever you want. It's a file that's delivered digitally. That's what a digital product is. It's a baseball analogy. With these low-cost digital products, we're just helping somebody get to first base. We're not helping them get around all the bases. We're not helping them get to home plate. And I find a lot of people try to solve all the problems for all the people in their digital product. And that makes it really, really hard to market. So how I suggest you do it, you find a specific problem for a specific person. So that's step number 1. Step number 2, you're going to write a 20 to 40 page PDF. Typically, you're going to break it down into your 3 to 7 step process on however you solve the problem. For example, let's say I help dads lose 15 pounds in 90 days. My hypothetical process would be, number 1 would be eat below 2,000 calories. Number 2 would be 10,000 steps a day. Number 3 would be lift weights 3 times a week. Number 4 would be eat 150 grams of protein a day. And then number 5 would be no drinking alcohol. Again, just hypothetical. Those would be the 5 steps. And I would go into each of those 5 steps and explain them much better. I'd give them tips and tricks. Maybe there's apps that you use on your phone, maybe for tracking purposes, or maybe there's a watch that you use. Whatever it is, you're going to give them everything that they need to lose 15 pounds in 90 days. So that's the idea with the PDF. Kind of look at it as each step is a chapter, so to speak. So if you have a 5-step process, it's probably going to be 5 chapters. That's kind of how I look at it. And again, nothing held back. Give it all to them. Whatever it is that you did to lose the 15 pounds in 90 days or 1 year, whatever it is, give it all to them. So basically what we're doing with this is we are condensing time for people. So let's say it took you 1 year to lose 15 pounds. And looking back on it, you're like, gosh, knowing what I know now, I could probably do it in 90 days. Like, I made a lot of mistakes. You're going to help them avoid those mistakes. We're going to help them eliminate the trial and error. Let's say I gained 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, and it took me 5 years to do it, which it did take me about 5 years to do. Or actually, it took me 7 years to do it. And it took me 7 years to do it. And looking back on it now, I'm like, oh my gosh, I could teach people a whole lot faster. I could teach people to probably do it in 1 year now. It's not going to take you 7 years like it took me. I'm going to help you do it in 1 year. That's another example. So again, we're condensing time for people. Step number 3, I'm going to recommend you hire a designer on Fiverr. It is a website. You're going to get $10 to $20. We can go more than that. Typically, the designs I use are anywhere between $10 to $20. People do judge PDFs by the cover. People do judge digital products by the cover. The image that you use to show off, it makes a big difference. So here is the website Fiverr. It's FIVERR.com. So what I would do is just ebook designer, search that. And then they have rating systems, and you can check the pricing and all that. So as you can see, 4.9 stars, 426 reviews. That's a pretty good indicator. Rashad is a pretty good designer. Here's another one, over 1,000 reviews, 4.9, $50. So these are a little bit on the pricier side, but as you scroll down, you can find, here's one right here for 15. Let me add cover. ebook cover designer. We don't want ebook designer. So here's one right here, 50. These are a little pricier. So if we scroll down, here's one for $10. This person has 82 reviews. This person for $20 has 153 reviews. And you can kind of just go through. Here's one right here, 862 reviews for $10. You're going to get the turnaround time's typically going to be 24 to 48 hours. But I definitely recommend hiring a professional to do the design of the cover. It's going to make a big, big difference with sales. So that's step number 3. Step number 4, upload to Stan. It's a simple platform. There's probably 100 different platforms you could sell it on. I recommend Stan. I don't use it myself. I use a little bit more complicated WordPress website and all that, but I don't recommend it for beginners. Stan Store offers a free 14-day trial. There's a link down below to grab your free 14-day trial. And then it's $29 a month. It's simple. You don't need any tech. It's very beginner friendly. A couple of the other funnel building tools can get kind of complicated, especially if you're new. It's used by thousands and thousands of people. It's gotten really, really popular over the years. Ever since the pandemic, it's got really popular. You don't need to mess with domains. You don't need to mess with emails. It's just an easy tool to use. That's why I recommend it. And then step number 5 is the last step, is create content on one social media platform. I don't recommend being on all the platforms, not when you're starting out. I'm really only active on Instagram and Threads. And the reason I'm active on those two is they're connected together. Create videos or content around your audience's problems and desires. I would sit down and write out 10 specific problems and 10 specific desires, and I would talk about those 20 things often. You can repeat yourself. Don't be scared to repeat yourself. Next is share your plan, your 3 to 7 step process that we did right here. In step number 2, share your plan. Share your plan over and over. As you notice, this PDF right here, or this Google Doc that I'm sharing right here, this is my plan. This is my 5-step plan. If you go look on my Instagram, I share my plan often. So share your plan with people often. Get them to buy into your plan. Next is share proof. This could be your own proof on how you lost the weight, on how you built a better marriage, on how you gained subscribers on YouTube, or it could be from customers and or clients or people that you helped. Even if it's just maybe a comment on social media. Hey, Adam, thanks for those tips. I'm down 3 pounds just implementing what you've shared. Take a screenshot of that. That is proof. So we want to share proof. And then the last one is share your unique perspectives on life, business, and your industry. Show people who you are and what makes you tick. This is probably the hardest part of all. And this, I would argue, is the biggest needle mover when putting out content, is showing who you are, your convictions, your beliefs, what you stand for. Most of society has a spaghetti spine. So if you believe something and you have a perspective on something or an opinion on something, and there's a little bit of pushback, and you can stand up and explain why you feel that way or why you believe that, people really, really respect that. Because again, most of society has a spaghetti spine and they kind of wilt under pressure. Just a simple pushback, and they, oh, never mind, I didn't mean it like that. So again, this is hard, and most struggle with this because it does take courage to put yourself out there, to share your thoughts and beliefs and perspectives on whatever it is, whether it's life, whether it's business, whether it's money, whether it's parenting, whether it's religion, whether it's S3X, whether it's politics, I think that covers the taboo topics, but sharing that, and then it shows people who you are, what your values are, and that's what people buy. People buy who you are more than they buy what you sell. I'm not going to bullshit you. None of this is easy. It can be that simple. Follow those 5 steps. I promise. That's all it takes. I try to eliminate the confusion, the overwhelm, and the complexity. But like I said at the beginning, I truly believe every person on this planet has knowledge, wisdom, experience, or a skill set that could save someone time, money, stress, anxiety, shame, guilt, fear, humiliation, and frequent trips to the liquor store. And people will pay good money for that. You have something inside you that you can help somebody do. I worked with a lady. She was a customer of mine. She was struggling with breastfeeding. She wasn't able to breastfeed, so she had to take these supplements to be able to breastfeed, and she was embarrassed by it. So she went on this quest and started changing her diet and her fitness and trying to change different things. All of a sudden, she stopped taking the supplements, and she said, hey, Adam, is this a good idea? So she ended up creating an ebook on how moms who struggle with breastfeeding, which at the time I didn't know was a problem, and she created an ebook for other women or other new moms that are going through that. She felt shame, she felt guilt, she felt embarrassment. She had all these negative feelings, so she ended up putting together like a recipe guide and an ebook and a grocery list on foods that she started eating and some of the fitness things that she started doing, and it improved her, and she didn't have to take supplements. So I mean, it literally can be anything. So think of something, again, a problem that you've solved for yourself or something that you've accomplished that you would enjoy helping others and you would enjoy talking about. That's where you can create a PDF around. If you have any questions, comment down below. If you're struggling with like a niche and or you have an interest, let's say, and you're like, Adam, I don't know what to create a PDF around, drop the interest down below and I will help you out. Also, grab that Google document right down below. It's free. There's no email. There's no opt-in. There's no nothing like that. It'll link you right to the Google Doc. Take those 5 steps, run with it, create your own PDF, and start stuffing your piggy banks with more of that green stuff.